Hello crafters, I'm JanB and I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator. Today I'd like to show you how I made this shutter card. It has a little belly band that slides off and then the two gatefolds open to reveal shutters that open and reveal the greeting that you have inside. And then when you close the card again, the shutters close and then the band goes back. The instructions that I'm following today are from France Martin, that's Frenchy. It means that the card size we're doing today is an American size, okay? It is not our normal half of A4 sheet. Just to show you what I mean, this is our A4 sheet, our normal sheet. Oops, I wonder what made that go. And this is the card piece that you're going to need. Okay, now normally I would just do two cards like that because I like to think that I'm frugal with my paper, but I couldn't work out how to cut the sizes down and to get the centre bits moving properly. So I went back to French's video and picked up all of her sizes, so I'm following Frenchy totally here. But we're always using the odd bits of Whisper White for other bits on our card, so it's not as if it's going to be wasted, and this is just a one-off, this card, or even if you made like half a dozen, it's not every day. Right, so to start off with, this is 8.5 inches by 5.5 inches, which in centimetres is 21.5 by 14 centimetres. And then there are these two pieces. I've already done these because this is take two, and my Tombow decided to start playing me up and I couldn't fix it quickly enough, so I stopped and started again. So the two pieces of Melon Mambo are 2 inches by 5 3/8 inches, which is 5 centimetres by 13.75. The DSP, which is from Pop of Pink Specialty Designer Series paper, they both measure 1 7/8 inches by 5 1/4 inches, which is 4.75 centimetres by 13.5 centimetres. Then we have, for the centrepiece, a piece of Melon Mambo which measures 3 inches by 5.5 inches. That's 7.75 centimetres by 14 centimetres. And another piece of DSP from Pop of Pink, that measures 2 7/8 inches by 5 3/8 inches, which is 7.5 centimetres by 13.75 centimetres. And then the last two pieces are for the actual shutter, and these both measure 4 inches by 3.5 inches, which is 10.25 centimetres by 9 centimetres. Okay, so we'll do the easy bit first, and that is adhere those two. Okay, then we're going to adhere this one onto here. I'm going to use the Tombow that started playing me up, but I have got a new bottle there at the ready, just in case this plays silly whatsits again, which it looks as if it's going to. Look at that. Right, let's try this one then. Just had an air bubble in it. You can use snail or fast fuse or tear and tape, whatever your preference is. So that's that. Right, we're going to score our card and these two. And what did I do with my scoreboard? Oh, I can see it. I was tidying up and I forgot to put it back where I needed it. Right, okay, so let's put the scoreboard there. Now for our main card piece, if you put it in your scoreboard, so you've got the long side along the top, 8.5 inches, and you need to score at 2 1/8 inches, which is 5.25 centimeters, and then 6 3/8, which is 16.25 centimeters. And while we've got the scoreboard here, if you put the shutter piece in, so you've got the 4 inches along the top here, and score at 3.5 inches, and that one along at 4 inches and score at 3.5 inches. So that's all we need our scoreboard for. Right, so if we fold this and use our bone folder to get some nice creases, as always, make sure you line up your edges. This side as well. Okay, let's get myself comfortable again. And then I'm going to adhere these onto here. I'm not going to use you. Let's move you out of the way so I don't pick you up by mistake. Again, you can use whatever glue you like for this. There we go. So that's the easy bit done. What we need to do next is to bring the, well, you've got two ways of doing this. We need to punch a hole in the front panel. Let me show you what I mean on here. Okay, we need this hole here. Now I'm going to use a die rather than the punch. I just prefer the look that you get from using a die. If you want a punch, then I would suggest you use the 2.5 inch, I think is what Frenchie recommend. No, 2-inch punch. And the one that I'm going to use is from the layering dies. What do we call them? Layering circle framelits dies. And I'm going to take number 6. Now what I do with these is I start counting on the smallest one. These nest on top of each other, but they're stored like this because they're just too tight. They'd literally be on top of each other if they were in one pile. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's the one we need. The actual size of your circle doesn't really matter too much to this, whether you go for the 2-inch or this one. I think this is about 2 3/8. Yes. It doesn't make too much difference. The only part it does really affect is the size of the message you can get in there. Right, so there's that, that, and I'm just going to guess where this is going to go. I'm looking to try and get that to be halfway down and trying to centre it here, and I think that looks about centre. I do prefer punches from the point of view that they're a lot quicker. This video just is not meant to be happening today. Not quite sure what's going wrong there. Let's see if that cut. Yes, it did. It looks as if maybe I didn't get the mats lined up properly. Well, bound to happen when I'm chatting, isn't it? But at least it's cut it, so that's fine. There we go. On one of the videos I watched, the demonstrator, she actually used this for part of her decoration that she did on here. She did a very masculine one, in fact it was lovely. But she had this, whatever she had there, sitting on top of that, and then that on top of the belly band. Looked really nice. Right, so we've done that bit. Now, this is where the fun starts. What we need to do is, first of all, fold these two, and we've got to find the centre of our cardstock. I take a ruler. Now I know this is 4 inches, so I've got to find where 2 inches is down here. So where can you see? Right, you can see this. You see right over? Yeah, okay. So 2 inches is there. And then if I use that one, this is 3.5 inches, so halfway is going to be 1.75. In fact, I didn't work that. Did I work that out? No, I didn't work that out in fact, sorry, the scoring was at 1.25. Yeah, that was alright. It was 10.25 by 9, wasn't it? Right, so that was my 2 inches. So, for metric, that's... Oh dear, how do you do this? Because yours was 10.25, so that's 5.12.5. I don't know if you can do that in metric, can you? Sorry, I don't know on that one. So I've got my 2 inches, and then up here I need to have 1 3/4, which is there. So where those two meet up, that is the centre of my cardstock there. Okay, so that's halfway between the 4 inch, so that's 2 inches along there. Okay, like that, that's 2 inches. And then this one I'm putting at 1 3/4, which is there. I'm moving that, aren't I? 1 3/4 there and there. Okay, so that is my centre. So what I need to do now is to cut from that point to there and that point to there. But as you know, me and straight lines. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a pencil mark like that. And then what will happen is, rather than have to rub any of this pencil mark out, I can just make sure that I face this piece down when I put my card together. Okay, so that you only need to do one piece. So that's right from that corner, right to the centre point, and then that side as well. And then for the second one, just put that on top Make sure it lines up perfectly. And then draw a pencil line on there. Then you know they are both absolutely identical. Okay. Now what should happen is those slide in like that. On here. And then open up. So make sure that's lines out. Now with this one I have used Tombow. No, I didn't. I used Snail on here, and I wonder if I can show you. Can you see that that has not stuck down very well at all? So I can get my fingers in underneath that. Can you see that? So I really think you need to use Fast Fuse or Tombow for this. Right, so what I do, put this, again, lining up, but let's do it down. I normally work up there, so this time I'll do it down here. I need to, let's see, it's because it's got a 0 up that end, which is why I find that one easier. So I'm going to use number 8 here. That is going to be the centre of my card. So I've got 1 inch, 2 inch and a bit, 1 inch, 2 inch and a bit. In fact, that's gone right up to the 1/8 of a mark. So is that actually, isn't it? So I know that that's my centre. That's quite easy to erase afterwards, or at least before we put this on. So then with this one, if you know 8 is the centre, then I've got 1.5 inches this side, 1.5 inches this side. So I'm going to put a little mark up there for the top and bottom of my circle, and that's not straight. Is it? Maybe it is. Okay, so I'm just drawing some marks here so that I know where this panel's going to be going afterwards, once we've finished. Okay, so what we need is for this to be in the centre here. Now I'm going to turn that over because I've got the pencil marks on it. Now what happens is we have to glue this, put glue on here, and then as we fold that over it will stick to this piece, and then as we lift it up, I can show you this, that will be stuck on there. So that is what will pull this open, and that's exactly the same as what's going to happen on that side. Okay, so shall we have a go, see if we can get this to work? So we lay it down again. We know this is our centre piece, so just line that up as best you can. You can always take that bit back again, just make sure, because you can line it up between there, that line and that line again, like that. And this top and that top fits that edge. Now this should be in the centre here, which looks about right to me. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use Tombow without moving that. Now obviously I don't want too much Tombow here because I don't want it squeezing out everywhere. So I'm just squeezing it very, very gently. There we go, that should be fine. Okay, so this pink edge here is lining right up with this fold here. Okay, you can see your score line, and that has got to go right up to the edge. Okay, so close this one down and just give that a little while so that Tombow can do its work. Okay. Now I'm not going to try folding that for a moment. Now this is the other piece. Where's my pencil lines? Can't really see them, so never mind. I'm going to fold it down this way. And what I'm doing is I want to line that point up with this. And I want to line this up with this. Before I actually glue this down, I will close that on top of it to make sure. But equally, this pink line here, I'm making sure it lines up with that scored line there. Okay. Now if I fold that one back, and now make sure that this lines up perfectly. There's a fraction out. Now that's better. Okay. So I'm happy with that. I'm going to let that one go again. And now I'm going to put Tombow on this side. As I say, fast fuse will be fine on this, but I certainly don't recommend snail. It has to take quite a bit of pressure opening and closing the gatefolds. There we go, that should be good. I'm going to close this one over, move my hand out of the way first, but don't allow it to move at all. And just give it a good rub and give it just a little while to adhere back down again. Okay, right, well, just give that a few minutes. What we need to do with this centerpiece is we need to put some dimensionals on the back, at the top and at the bottom. I'm just going to do 3 top and bottom. Okay, so that's all ready to go. Now I'm going to use my eraser to get rid of these pencil marks. I didn't actually use that one, did I? Just got a bit carried away with finding centre points. You wouldn't believe how many different videos I followed yesterday. Right, okay. So what we need to do now, pop this on top like that. And we should find that this is a perfect triangle inside our circle. Okay, so let's see what we get. Right, here we go. Now, I'm digressing a little bit here. I personally don't see why you can't have one top and one bottom over here. And the other thing that I do, which nobody else did, and that is I cut these points off. I just found it stopped a bit. I mean, these, to me, they always get they get buckled up. If you just cut a little piece off, I find that that is a lot easier. Okay, right, let's see if I've still got mine working properly or if I've messed it up. Okay, now I've got one top, one bottom here, which is how it should really work. Now I'm going to position this, maybe it was up that way, and you should find that your diamond is in the centre of your punched or die cut hole. There we go, that's the right way up for mine. Okay, so that diamond should be a perfect diamond, which I think that is, isn't it? And it closes and it opens, closes, opens. So, oops, I really am pleased with that. French's instructions were definitely the best ones I actually found. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to stamp my greeting in there. I'm going to do the same as that one there. And that was, it was that. And this comes from Best Bird stamp set. And it's the happy birthday. And, oh, the little flower there. Okay, I'm going to use Melon Mambo ink. And I'm just going to stamp this. That looks as if it's actually in the paper. Okay. So keep it all flattened down with your hands. And then nice and straight. There we go. And then with the flower, I just fill the gap in down here. There we go. So isn't that lovely? And I know what I have forgotten. I've forgotten to bring over the cardstock for the belly band. Now I think I decided that I needed a piece that was 1 inch by 10 inches, and I don't think I actually cut that at all. Is that big? Yes, that's big enough to do it. So let me just cut this piece, I'm not going to worry too much about it being too long because I can just cut that piece off. Isn't that a lovely sound? Right, so this is my belly band, and what I do is I just want my first fold to be so that this comes over like this. I don't want it to come miles over, and all I do is just gently fold that and then gently fold that, take it apart, and then make sure I've got these two lining up. Okay, that's like that. Get this one straight as well. Like that. And then I'm going to cut off the most of this. So did I cut off 2 inches? No, I've cut off 1.5 inches. So my piece is 10.5 inches. And in metric, let me give you that. Let's do it down here. 10.5 is 26.75. So I would say 27. That one doesn't have to be precise. So we say 27 centimetres and 10.5 inches. Okay, now for my flower, as always, I am using these stamps because they're just so nice and quick and easy. And I can't believe it, I've forgotten my scrap paper as well. So we'll have that. And did I tidy up again? Yes, I did. I don't normally tidy up that well. Right, and of course these stamps, the big one comes from Flower Shop, that's that one, and the little one comes from Petite Petals, and it's this one here. Now I have my arrow on here coming downwards so I know which way to line up my punch. And then this one doesn't matter because all the petals are the same on the punch. Okay. And that will line up beautifully because I had my arrow in the right direction. And then the little one, all the petals are the same. And just give them a little bit of a twist. Obviously I do these flowers because they are nice and quick for a video. But when you're doing it, you could do any sort of decorations. Right, so first of all I'm going to adhere this down with Tombow. In fact, I'll put that one on top because that was I'll put the cut one underneath. So what I do, I put some Tombow on the end of that one, and then the end of that one, and therefore I know that both ends have been done. It saves me from putting glue where I don't really want glue. Okay, so that's there. Put this. There we go. And then put this together. I'll fluff my petals up more once it's all properly dry. And then when I put my flower on here, it will cover up the join. Okay, so we have a nice Night of Navy shutter card where the triangle, the diamond rather, inside is perfect. And we now have a Melon Mambo one where the diamond inside is perfect. There we go. And the belly bands, of course, let's bring those in too. I really hope you've enjoyed this. It is a bit of an effort to get these shutters working correctly. I can't deny that. But if you do have the patience for it and you make sure that everything is lined up beautifully, it's a brilliant card to make. Really lovely. Very, very satisfying. So many thanks to Frenchie. Your instructions were absolutely superb. Many thanks for joining me today. If you have any questions, please contact me either by leaving a message in the box below, in the comments below, or by sending me an email to JanB@janbcards.com. If you'd like to purchase any of the products that I've used here, there'll be a link in the bottom for my 24/7 online shop where you'll be able to purchase any of the Stampin' Up products. If you've enjoyed my video, please subscribe to my YouTube channel so that you'll be notified each time I do upload a new video, and that's normally on a Wednesday and a Sunday. Finally, I will be putting all of the products and the measurements on the screen, but if what you're watching on, the device you're watching on, if it doesn't show that, then again I'll put all the details in the box below. Many thanks for joining me today. Until next time, happy crafting. Cheerio.